It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso as we count the cost, as we let the dust settle, as we kind of take note of where we were when this Sunday went down. Two of the most momentous moments in sporting history played out yesterday. There is a brand new champion of the Cricket World Cup for the first time in their history. An incredible moment there. And of course, Wimbledon providing probably the best game of tennis that we are ever likely to see. Jeremy Harris, you're nodding your head there. Is that because you're having a minor stroke after what went down yesterday? I feel like my consciousness is fractured.
Yeah.
We were pushed to the limit, to the brink and beyond. A super over. How are you feeling after the Cricket World Cup? England, champions for the first time.
I mean, I don't understand how people expect us to eat all the snacks we bought for the various sporting events, because you never got... There was one sport, then to the next sport. But I mean, in terms of the Cricket World Cup final, I don't know that the best Hollywood, scriptwriter would have been able to write that one.
241 is what they both scored. So it had to go to a super over where the team who scores the most runs in that super over then obviously wins. If they score the same amount, then the team with the most boundaries or six then wins. So just about every variable that could have come into play. Then who do you choose to go out there to bat? And of course, man of the match, Ben Stokes, just an absolute hero. You could see the body, the mind, everything. Talk about being fractured. We've actually got that winning moment. We're going to play that out for you quickly, just to set the scene of how it all went down at the traditional home of cricket.
2 to win. Guttull's going to push for 2. They've got to go. It's got throw's got to go to the keeper's end. He's got it. England have won the World Cup by the barest of margins. By the barest of all.
By the barest of margins. Margins. I'm so glad they had that accent. And Martin Guptill was put in there for that super over because he's a quick runner.
Yeah. And
not even he could do it. Was it a bridge too far? How should New Zealand be feeling about getting so close?
Look, I mean, New Zealand will... The press conference afterwards, Kane Williamson, very generous in terms of his acknowledgement of the England team. But, I mean, they will feel so unlucky. There was that incident in what I would call normal play where, by accident...
Stokes' head
clipped Stokes' bat as he came back for the second run, went all the way to the boundary for 4. The 2 became a 6. And all of a sudden, we had a super over.
And what an unbelievable game. I think... Kane Williamson, brilliant captaincy right the way through.
Yes.
Owen Morgan, brilliant captaincy right the way through.
Absolutely.
To completely different teams. But this might be one of the best for the narrative. We've spoken about the bowlers playing a big part. Even that score, 241. We thought this was always going to be about the runs, but it wasn't. It was about great fielding, great captaincy, great bowling.
Great bowling.
An incredible World Cup.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that it was a great advert for the game. I mean, I think we'd seen scores of 300 plus leading up to it. And so 241, you're thinking there's never going to be enough.
I thought it was game over. Honestly.
It's over. But, I mean, they put so much pressure on the English batsmen, the New Zealanders did, and it made it close and exciting and tight. And from a neutral's perspective, great to watch.
Absolutely amazing. I think from a neutral's perspective as well, as we shift lanes now, and we're going to take a while to absorb that cricket, I think, partly because of the Proteas performance in it, but it was a fantastic advertisement for cricket. But we stay in the UK and we travel across to the grass courts of the Old English Club that probably will be I think the ultimate moment in tennis. And we say for the neutral, there were very few neutrals watching the Wimbledon men's final as two of the greatest players of all time did battle. Roger Federer up against the guy who probably knocked him off his throne in terms of Wimbledon. He's beaten him 3 times before. Novak Djokovic is the Wimbledon champion for a 5th time. Were you a neutral going? Could you be a neutral going into that match?
No, look, I'm going to tell you that I'm a Roger Federer fan through and through.
Like every single other person.
But I mean, again, we talk about great adverts for the sport. I mean, we've just seen it from the cricket, and again for the tennis. And again at the press conference afterwards, I love to hear the reaction. Roger Federer goes, "Yeah, I'm 37, but I'm not done yet." And I mean, that's fantastic.
Neither of them look anywhere close to being done. As long as Nadal, Federer and Djokovic, that holy trinity, exists together, there is no other male player coming close to the kind of tennis that they're playing. When you look at the ability, the shot selection and what they were able to pull out when up against the wall, I think Federer's second serve, absolutely amazing. Maybe a few unforced errors coming into it, but Djokovic's fight, his heart throughout that match. I actually turned to a Djokovic man before the end of the match.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't blame you, because you know what? He's had so much to come back from, not only in that particular game, but just in recent months and years. So, I mean, there's so much that has worked against him. And to be firstly in the final, well done. But then 13-12, excuse me, in the fifth set.
The longest ever Wimbledon final ever, and obviously they changed the rules, so they had to tie up at 12 games apiece in the final set before going to the actual tiebreaker, which played into Djokovic's hands, obviously winning every tiebreaker in the match. An incredible performance. And very lastly, Serena Williams. Have we seen the last of Serena? Simona Halep played probably the best game of tennis any woman has ever played, certainly in her career.
Look, I hope we haven't seen the last of Serena Williams. I think that I'd like to think that she's got more to offer. I think that on the day she was beaten by the better player. I think Simona Halep put a little bit more into it, and there was a little bit more, insider that she wanted to put out on court, and she did, and she won, and well done to her.
Can she bounce back and win another Serena Williams, one of the greatest champions of all time, undoubtedly. And, of course, plenty more drama to cover. We're going to get Jeff Coetzee, the South African connection, of course, coaching on the doubles circuit. Had an unbelievable weekend as well. We'll bring him in to do a bit of an assessment as well. But Jeremy Harris, man, well done for surviving this weekend, my brother.
Yeah, I'm going to lie down now.
I think I'm going to just stay here for the rest of the show. You can let us know who you're supporting. Who were you supporting over the weekend's dramatic sporting action?